Alright, so as I'm sure you all know, Terraria 1.4.1 is out, and I'm quite late to this. It's a few days past the update by the time you're watching this video, but I tried as fast as I could to get something out for you guys. So I'd like to direct all of your attention to the fact that we have an anchor buff. The anchor, everyone's favorite weapon, has been buffed, and I figured, hey, you know what'd be fun? Let's try and beat Duke Fishron with it, because you know, it's an anchor, and then it's a fish, and yeah. But anyways, yeah, so I decided to do this. Now, you probably clicked on this video thinking, wait, the anchor got buffed? It's actually viable now? It's good enough against Duke Fishron? And to that, I will say, not at all. This is still not a great weapon, but the buffs do help. And is it viable for Fishron? No, not really, but can you still do it? Well, we'll see in today's video. So sorry to disappoint you, all you anchor lovers, but you can still use it, and it can still do some things, as you will see. But yeah, I just wanted to do this and then kind of take some time to talk with you guys about the update and tell you all what I think about all of the changes, specifically the balance changes, and in particular summon, because we just, well, I'm saying just finished up, but it's been a few months since it ended, but we just finished up the summoner playthrough, and I want to talk about how some of the massive buffs that the class has been getting. And it's really, really cool to see that in the final update we're still getting so much support and love for the summoner class, because I still think even after 1.4 it's missing. You could probably, you know, make the same argument that it could still be better. Obviously, it could always be better, but you can't deny how much, like, effort they have put in to make this class more viable and use, because I would say it's completely viable. At this point, it's a completely viable class. Doesn't mean it's maybe on par with the others, but it certainly works. You have weapons all the way throughout. And yeah, I just wanted to talk to it. But yeah, back to the anchor. So I found some interesting tech, okay? I found some interesting tech we can use with the anchor. Well, only against Duke Fishron, but that's besides the point. Basically, what you want to do, I sometimes was able to do this and sometimes not, but if you sort of throw the anchor right as Duke Fishron is dashing, you will not only get the first hit, but as you're reeling the anchor back in, Duke Fishron will sort of dash through it, so you'll get multiple hits. Now, again, normally, as most you probably know, the way this weapon works is as soon as you hit a target, it'll sort of bounce back, which is why this weapon isn't the greatest in most normal circumstances. But if we utilize something like that, we can get quite a few extra hits, and it's pretty cool. The downsides to this weapon are if you miss, you gotta wait like 10 minutes for it to come back so you can try and hit it again. So your aim's gotta sort of be on point, and like I said, you're aiming to throw the anchor as it dashes. And yeah, that's kind of what you gotta deal with. But I was mentioning, this was all streamed on Twitch, by the way, but I was mentioning to everyone in chat that, okay, what if there was like a gravity mechanic where if you threw, well, like that increases damage on the anchor, because yeah, there's gravity, but you know what I mean. Yeah, so a gravity effect that increases damage on the anchor the more time it's, well, okay, hold on, that would be pretty cheesy, but up to a certain degree, if you like threw the anchor up and the longer it was airborne, or I guess more so maybe the more tiles it is passed through vertically, it would like increase damage, because I think that'd be pretty cool. Because right now, like, it's still nothing special. Obviously, using an anchor on Duke Fishron is not what you're supposed to be doing with this weapon. But I think it's like, I don't know, I think it'd be a cool mechanic just to make it more a little unique, I guess. Although I guess it'd be pretty hard to implement without being too broken. But even if it didn't even do much, just the fact that it'd be in the game, I don't know, I thought it was cool. I thought it would be a cool thing. But yeah, it's pretty cool to see weapons like this get a buff in the new update, because again, they're pretty interesting, and you know, maybe having more options available to the player and having some of these more unique weapons, it's cool. It's cool to see. Just rather than always sticking to the same weapon, we get more options. So this especially, I think, is seen with lots of the balance changes. Like if you look at Ranger, lots of the go-to weapons were nerfed, like on the Onyx Blaster. That was nerfed. That was, well, at least for me, it was the go-to for Ranger. Really, really strong weapon. It was nerfed, and other things were buffed. So it sort of brings out more opportunities to play the game in different ways and will freshen things up a bit. At least I believe so. But yeah, I'm going to start talking about summoner-specific changes because I think that would be very relevant to what we were fairly recently doing on the channel. It's been a while since the series ended, but we were just doing a Master Mode Summoner 1.4 series, and we finished that up. And yeah, I think basically the class got buffed, and I want to talk about it, because again, I mean, the fight takes a while. We're not doing the most damage here, so hey, might as well talk about something else while we wait for this to finish up. Summoner just got massively buffed, I would say, in the new update, which is really cool to see. Lots of the issues that I was talking about, and many other people in the community were kind of mentioning while they were doing Summoner, because everyone was kind of on the Summoner train after, you know, the new update, all these new summon weapons, all these new items, that sort of thing. Everyone was kind of doing it, and lots of issues were kind of brought up with some of the weapons and the ways that you would get things on all of that sort of stuff. So in 1.4.1, things got buffed a lot for the Summoner class. Lots of things were fixed. Some things that kind of didn't work properly or how intended have been fixed, so now they're like actually viable now, which is really cool to see. There were a couple weapons that got nerfed, which I'll be going over, but I wanted to quickly make this video to kind of just say, okay, here's what it was like before, here's what we now got, this is why you need to play Summoner now with the new update. So one of the main issues with Summoner prior to 1.4.1 was the fact that as soon as you start up your world, you don't have a clear summon weapon to go for. Like, you have Finch Staff, but there's no guarantees you get it. You have the Living Wood chests. If you don't get it from that, you are kind of screwed. And then you have to beat bosses before you get a summon weapon. So what they ended up doing is adding a new summon, which I was actually really surprised. I did not expect anything like that. A new summon, and we have a new kind of summon armor piece type of thing called the Finch Fur Coat. Now, this basically just increases your minion damage, and it's only a one-piece set, or there is no set, it's just one piece of armor, but still really cool to see, something to kind of go for. Again, pretty easy to get. You have to, I mean, fight some Finxes, but like that's about it, and then you need some bars, basic pre-armor bars, that sort of thing, and then you're good. Furthermore, they moved the Pygmy Necklace to pre-armor mode, so all you need to do is beat Queen Bee, get the Witch Doctor, and you can buy the Pygmy Necklace. This is really good, because before, Summoner didn't really have a summon accessory pre-hard mode. Now we have this, which is, again, amazing. That one extra minion slot is actually really, really good pre-hard mode. Now, several other staffs got changed so that they work better, or even just how they are supposed to work, basically. Specifically, like the Finch Staff is a lot more accurate now. It'll no longer just hit everything but what you're trying to aim for. The Vampire Frog Staff is hitbox all along its body, and several other buffs to damage and such. We do see 2 nerfs with the Sanguine Staff and the Xeno Staff, basically 2 damage, both indirectly. So Xeno Staff fires a little bit slower, and the Sanguine Staff takes a little bit longer to kind of circle back and go for another hit. So those are 2 slight nerfs there, but tons of other staffs got pretty significant buffs as well to damage. Basically, the Tempest Staff is sort of what you're going to want to use instead for that area of the game. Both still work great. As I'm saying, Sanguine, Xeno Staff, they're still good, but now the Tempest is sort of on par with those. Now, yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. If you want to see the changes more in depth, then I encourage you to check out the changelogs for yourself if you haven't already. I'm sure most of you have. And if you'd like to check out all the changes to the summon class specifically, I know Chippy just uploaded a video about that topic, exploring the changes in detail, so definitely be sure to check that out if you're interested. But yeah, that's Duke Fishron with an anchor. I just sort of wanted to talk about the update. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the update. Let me know what you guys think about how much this will affect the class. I think it's great. I do think Summon is still a fair bit behind the other classes in terms of damage and viability and everything, but it is significantly better than it was. Huge improvements prior to from 1.3. Like, if you look at 1.3 Summon to 1.4.1, it's almost looking at like the throwing class, or what it once was, compared to an actual viable thing. Like, it's just leagues apart from what it used to be. But yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you all for watching. I do have a new series planned ahead. I'm not going to say much about what it's going to be on, because I've got some ideas, but nothing set in stone. But expect a new playthrough, hopefully starting up pretty soon. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.